Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om. Today we'll continue our journey with Bhagavad Gita. We'll try to complete 4 adhyayas in one class. Not sure whether we'll be able to give proper justice to all this, but let's see. So first one, I think I want to show this picture. This is called eternal Ashwatha tree. So this is how the world comes into existence. If you look at this tree, it is inverted. The roots are at the top, then the branches come out from a trunk, and then the branches, leaves. So this is how the world is. The world we live in, the physical world, it's like one of those leaves. Those leaves get nourishment via the stems coming from the roots, and the root is the subtle world or spiritual world, and ultimately it's the supreme. So this is how the world looks like, and it is said that this tree does not have any beginning, it does not have any end, and it does not have continuous existence as well. 3 things: it does not have beginning, it does not have end, and it does not have continuous existence. Then what it is? Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. It is very hard to consume this information because we exist. When we touch something, it feels right, it feels that it is there. But Sri Krishna says, no, it's just mental illusion. It's just the illusion. The world does not exist. This tree does not exist. Still it is a tree, Ashwatha tree, eternal Ashwatha tree. It's like when we blow a balloon, the balloon becomes very big. What is inside? Just air, nothing else. Just like that. This balloon of the world and all of us, all the matter that exists, all the energy that exists, everything is like a balloon, and the air that sustains this balloon is Supreme, Parabrahma, because the nourishment comes from Parabrahma. And when the Supreme wants, it comes into existence the way we feel it. When Supreme wants, it stops being in existence as we feel it. So it's like Pralaya and Srujana. But there is no continuous existence of this balloon. It's just the illusion. It's just the Brahma. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, rather it's Aham Brahmasmi. It's our Brahma. It's not Brahma. Until and unless we realize what it is in reality. So unless and until that realization comes into our experience, the whole world, even if it feels real, it's in fact unreal. And every leaf, every single leaf of this tree, eternal Ashwatha tree, is Veda mantra. So anything we see around us, that is Veda mantra, but we cannot hear it. Once we have that realization of Brahma or Parabrahma or even Atma, when that realization comes, then we can hear all the Veda mantras coming out of everything around us. Well, that's how even yogis and siddhis have experienced it. As late as I know for sure that one person, he wrote about it. There are many persons, many yogis who have experienced this. Even right now, there might be multiple yogis who have this experience. But there is one person, he wrote everything. He explained how his sadhana started, how he achieved various different stages, and what is the ultimate stage, and how he sees the world around him. Swami Muktanand Baba of Ganeshpuri, he has written a book. The name of the book is Chitta Shakti Vilas, the dance of the Chitta Shakti. And he has in thoroughly, very much detailed, he described each and every step of sadhana, how he evolved and how he came to this stage of the last, which is Siddha, having Atma Sakshatkar and then knowing Parabrahma. And he even described how the world looks after getting the Siddhi. So it's very much like that, that each and every iota of this world radiates light in his words, and those lights, we can hear Ved mantras from that light. Okay, Sri Krishna divided all the attributes or qualities into two categories, divine and demonical. Now attribute is an attribute. Why it is called divine? Because it is upliftment. It goes towards that root of the Ashwatha tree. When we move in that direction, closer to God, closer to Parabrahma, it is called divine. When a particular attribute drags us down, keeps us rooted in this world, it is demonical. So what are those properties? So here the list of divine properties. No animosity, accept everyone as is. We might have a great aversion towards some bad people like terrorists. Shri Krishna says no, accept everyone. If they are part of this world, it's pretty much my will that they exist. So let them be. You just know how to tackle them. No false pride. We can have pride. Pride is our existence. But there shouldn't be any false pride like Ravana, that I am Brahma. Without even realizing Brahma, if I claim I am Brahma, that is false pride. Path to liberation. If we are on that path of liberation, we know there are certain things happening in our mind, in our body, in our interactions with others, the way we speak, the way we talk, the way we even read or write. So everything becomes on the path to liberation. So that is divine property. Fearlessness. There must not be any fear. The biggest fear is fear of death. If somebody has that divine property, cannot have any fear. Second fear is disease or getting hurt, or the mental fear is getting rejected, or fear of missing out, FOMO. So these are all demonical properties, but we must not have any fear. Pure mind. Pure mind meaning it is not colluded with all the rest of the demonical properties. So that is pure mind. Steadfast in divine knowledge. Many Pandits who have studied our scriptures greatly, even they cannot hold their thought, or they cannot hold their mind into this divine knowledge. They even create some delusion, they even create some doubt in the Shastras at one point of time, but that is demonical property. We must overcome that. Donation. Donation meaning what you have in excess, give it to someone, whatever it is. Non-violence. We talked about this. So unnecessarily not harming anyone. that is non-violence. Self-restraint, whatever action, whatever behavior, whatever thought process we have, just consider them as horses, and those horses, when they are tamed, then that's self-restraint. Yajna rituals, so we must perform various types of yajnas, and Sri Krishna is listed not only the fire ritual, but there are many different yajnas, like what we are doing right now, exchanging ideas. Maybe I am just speaking, you are listening, but you still thinking, right? When I say something, you start thinking, so that is also a yajna. So there are various yajnas, and we must keep doing that. That is divine. Study Vedas, even though we don't know the meaning, even though the translation is poor, or if the meaning is lost in translation, at least try to read the original text without even understanding. If you can pronounce the original Sanskrit, Devanagari, and then read the translation, that is good enough, because that will create those words, those Sanskrit sounds will create the understanding automatically. There is no need to look into translation. Translation is okay at gross level, at physical level, yes, you want to understand that, but the divine knowledge comes from just chanting, doing patana of those shastras, Vedas. Penance, if we do something bad and if we realize, then try to make it right. If we realize we did this bad or that was not good, but if we don't try to correct it some other way, if we don't try to compensate some other way, that's bad. So we must do penance. Simplicity, simplicity meaning we are entangled at every moment in our thoughts, in our daily lives, many different actions. How to overcome that and be fixated into path to Supreme, path to Sri Krishna, path to divine, Parabrahma, then everything comes naturally. It becomes simple. So if we center, if we focus Sri Krishna or whichever form of Parabrahma you like, consider that as the central part of your activities. Let's say you prepare food. You are housewives, right? You prepare food. So when you prepare food, don't think that this food is for your husband or for children or for anyone, guests or other relatives. Think that this food is for Sri Krishna. You are preparing for Sri Krishna, not for anyone else. Then it becomes a simple process. Let's say you go to work. You are doing work for whom? To earn money. But for whom? For your family? Yes, but if Sri Krishna is in the center, you are going to work for Sri Krishna, you are earning money for Sri Krishna, you are bringing all those things for Sri Krishna. The rest will follow. It becomes simple, untangled. Truth, whatever situation or whatever state you are in, just be able to describe that when asked. That is truth. No anger, very hard to do, but at least if there is a self-restraint, if we can understand, oh, I am being anger, that's good enough. Eventually you will be able to control anger. Denounce. Denounce meaning whatever you have in excess, let it go. Don't hold on to that. Peace. Peace. Well, peace is the first condition of meditation, dhyana. Without peace, the dhyan cannot be deeper. So when you start doing dhyana sadhana, the first thing you come to terms is peace. Peace meaning your mind, even though it keeps thinking, you will not feel bogged down, you will not feel tired, you will not feel uh, kind of uh, tangled in some of your actions, you become free, you feel joyful. So that is being peace, not finding fault. We all do that and we like that. uh, Donald Trump did not do such things. Donald Trump has done this bad. We all keep doing that. In the world, all those things we always find faults with. Let's say somebody has done some beautiful artwork, a painting maybe. First thing we'll do, oh, you did not do this right. So that's finding fault. And usually moms do that, I know. Finding fault is right, but if we can, that is at physical level. But if we want to be above these qualities, if we want to be on the path to Sri Krishna, if we want to be divine, then we must curb this urge in ourselves. Do not find fault in anything. Because if everything is part of God, if everything is the will of God, then what are we to criticize? Even if it's being your child, being your parents, being your friends, being your relative, or whoever, we cannot find fault because that is the will of Sri Krishna. Who are we to intervene? If somebody asks us, okay, tell me, what do you think about this? Tell me 5 bad things about it. Then yes, then we should say truth. These are the things I do not like, or these are the things for me are not good. That may be not right for some other person. It's only right for you, not for others. So, very, very hard to do. And that is the sadhana. Sadhana is what? All these qualities, all these attributes we want to have in ourselves. And that is lifelong sadhana. Compassion. We might feel compassionate about a poor dog in bad state or poor cow in bad state. But what about pig? We feel the same. If some pig is in pain, remove. So that's not compassion. But our sadhana is to be compassionate to everything, even to snakes. If some snake is in bad state, even though that snake is poisonous, if we can create compassionate for that being, poor being, then yes, we have divine property. Till then we have just human property. So that is lifelong sadhana. No greed, not possible. Everybody wants to invest in stocks, everybody wants to have money, gold, properties. Just one house? No, I want 2 houses, one vacation home and rent it. So that is greed. Why do we need that? Congenial. Now this property, I would say, you are born with it, being like Nachiketa. But you can also acquire that if you do sadhana long enough, dhyana, you will eventually have that. Modest. When we talk to our boss, we are always modest. When we are boss, we are not. But that's how our sadhana should be. Steady. Steady does not mean we cannot change our thought process. We are all evolving human beings. Because of sadhana, we might think differently after 5 years or maybe 10 years or 20 years. But being steady meaning, I want to achieve certain goal. If that goal is good for myself, good for my family, good for the society, good for the nation, then yes, I must stick to it. Do not waver. Do not be in double mind. Keep doing. So that is being steady. Bright. Bright is people can glow if they apply some mask or something. it's not that bright. Bright meaning your intellect, your memory, your knowledge, your interaction with others, your talks, your writings, your any behavior, if it is acceptable by others, then you are automatically becoming bright. Bright is light, and light is God. Forgiveness, again, very hard to do many a times. Can we forgive someone who has done bad to us? Yes, that's a sadhana. Strong. Strong again goes with being steady. If someone is steady, must be strong, or somebody is strong can easily be steady. So strong meaning deterministic in mind, deterministic in thoughts. No showy. Now showy goes with pride, false pride. I have 1 kilogram of gold, so I have various ornaments, and I always wear that to show others that hey, I have this. If you do not have that notion, if you are wearing 1 kilogram gold, good enough, not to show, but because you think that because of Sri Krishna's grace I got this and I am doing this because I feel that Sri Krishna is within me and that is to adorn Sri Krishna within me, then yes, you can do that. But if you do it for others, to show others that hey, I have this, I have that, that is being showy. Sacred, it has multiple meanings. I would say if you follow your dharma, you are automatically becoming sacred. Dharma does not mean religion, Hindu dharma or Sanatana dharma. Dharma meaning what are your natural duties. Let's say I am a parent, so what is my natural duty as a parent? If I am husband, what is my natural duty as a husband? If I am son, what is my natural duty as a son? So doing all this makes us on the path to being sacred. So we automatically go into divine path, and anything on divine path is sacred. Like murti of Bhagwan or scriptures. When we place Vedas at our home or Bhagavatam at our home, we pay proper respect. So that is because that object is sacred. Some of the demonical properties: perpetual bondage, very understandable. Ignorant of actions, unholy, lies, misbehavior. People with demonical properties think that world is baseless, truthless, godless. There is no God. We have heard many people saying that, right? And they behave like that. They live like that. That hey, this is the life. Just waste it in all the desirements, earning money, having all the things you can do bad. Keep doing it because there is no tomorrow, there is no new life, there is no God. So that's all demonical properties. Hypocrisy, ego, false pride, vain principles. Everyone can have principles, but some are against dharma, some are against God, like Ravana. Now, Om Tat Sat. It is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So threefold Shraddha, threefold faith. Om is what? Whenever there is a yajna, we start with Om. Whenever we give donation, start with Om. Whenever we do tapa, tapa is literally to warm, to give fire to something. Could be physical in nature, could be mental in nature. Offering, whenever we offer something to yajna, any type of yajna, start with Om. Tat. Tat is worldly liberation. Tat, that word, liberates us from the human world, and we become on the path of divine. We start our journey in the divine path with this word tat. No fruits of karma. Anything done with tat, when we utter tat and do our karma, that becomes fruitless. So any tapa, yajna, dana, or any action, any karma that is done with this word tat will remove the attachment, will remove the fruit of that karma. And sat, what is sat? Eternal existence. That ashwatha tree that exists always, even though no beginning, no end, no continuous existence, and still it exists. Hard to comprehend, but that is eternal existence, and that is sat. Sattva gun is also represented. Auspicious work, any auspicious work, we start with sat, yajna, tapa, dana, then it becomes sattvic, then it becomes divine, then it becomes on the path to the eternal existence, brings us closer to the root. And that's why it is said that Om Tat Sat is what Sri Krishna says, always utter this before doing anything, after doing anything, mentally or in spoken words. Now, what is Sattva Gun? Sattva Gun is pure. It is a design. What kind of? Any food that is luscious, juicy, nutritious, and naturally delicious, even though it is cooked or uncooked, doesn't matter. But if it is juicy, if it is luscious, luscious meaning snigdha, little bit creamy, nutritious, and naturally delicious. Delicious does not mean there cannot be mirchi or chilies. It is also considered sattvic. It has to be tasteful. One taste cannot be in abundance. Everything should be in place. So that is a sattvic food. Longevity, living longer with virtues, all the good qualities, strength, health, joy, contentment, meaning whatever you have, just being content. You are not running after the carrot dangling up in front of you. You just content with what you are. Any yajna that is done with firm determination, without any desire, and is according to scriptures, that is also sattvic. Any tapa of body, speech, and mind, done with faith and without any gain, that is sattvic. Any dana, any donation given to deserving person or animal or being, and it is dutiful, without expectation of any gain, and given at the right time and right place, that is sattvic. Rajas is attachment. It is action. Because of attachment, there is action. Any food that is bitter, sour, salty, hot, sharp, dry, and acrid, that is rajasic. That creates attachment. Suffering, grief, disease, these are all results of rajasic quality, that is more. At one particular time, we are mixture of all three, sattva, rajas, and tamas. One can be more, the others can be low. So depending upon which one is major, we might be in a particular state. Suffering, grief, disease, that means we have more rajas in our body or mind. Any yajna that is done for some worldly gain. I am doing this havan because I want more money. I am doing this havan because I want this family. I am doing this havan because I want to have such and such gain. So these are all rajas. Tapa, any tap done hypocritically, Because others are doing Ekadashi, I am also doing Ekadashi. So that is not sattvic, that is the Rajasic tapa. Any dan, any donation reluctantly given, somebody forced you to give donation, it is not without any gain. You want something, hey, I am giving $10,000, put my name there. So that is not sattvic donation, it is Rajasic donation. It is donation, but it is Rajasic. Tamas is ignorance, but it is also potential. Because of tamas, everything is destroyed and ready for new one. So it is a seed for new creation. So tamas is as important as others, but in current state it brings ignorance, it brings laziness. So any food that is overcooked, it is rancid, stale, rotten, polluted, unclean, that food is tamasic. It creates tamas in us. Any yajna done without any faith, without prasad, without Veda mantras, without any dan, and it is not according to the scriptures, that is tamas. Any tapa done for harming someone else or destruction, like Ravana did tapa, great tapa, but it was for the destruction of others, so that was tamasic. Dana, which is dishonest. If you earn money dishonest way and give 10% of that to mandir, that is not a sattvic dan or rajasic dan, that is tamasic dan. Scornful giving to inappropriate person and time and at unholy place, so these are all tamasic dana. Now the 18th chapter is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, which is the liberation, and it kind of summarizes the rest of the 17 adhyayas. What is Sannyasa and Samkhya Yoga? It's a renunciation of karma motivated by desires. Any karma that is driven by desire for gain or result, stop that, renunciate that, that is Sankhya Yoga. And renunciation of results of karma, we cannot stop any karma, we cannot stop doing any karma. So what is best for us as a grihasth? Do karma, but don't do it for a particular gain. Offer all the results to Sri Krishna. In Gujarati there is a saying, બળતું ઘર કૃષ્ણાર્પણ. ઘર બળે છે તો શ્રી કૃષ્ણને આપી દો. If this house is burning, offer it to Sri Krishna. So don't do that. Give everything to Sri Krishna. When it is not burning, if house is burning, giving to Sri Krishna is okay. But if it is not burning, you leave there and still you offer to Sri Krishna. That is Karma Yoga. You are just a renter. Even though you pay loan, you pay installments, you are just a renter. As long as the situation is right, you will be able to live in that house. And that's why consider that you are living in the house for Sri Krishna. This is Sri Krishna's house, not yours. So have that notion as a grihastha, and that is important. And then you become Karma Yogi. You don't need to do anything else. If yajna, dan and tapa, they are beneficial to everyone, then always perform. Even the yogis or sannyasi, they also must do such type of yajna, dan and tapa. Because Sri Krishna says, even though you renunciate all the karmas, you stop doing any karma, but always do these 3 karmas. Even for sannyasis, it is important. If sannyasi does not have money, what can they offer in donation? Their knowledge, their bhakti. Duties. If duties are done without any attachment and without any expectations, that also becomes divine property that puts us into path of liberation. Now Even for sannyasis, certain karmas are hard to stop. Say, if I become a sannyasi of particular sect, then I must perform the sexual things always. Whatever my guru, whatever my sect dictates, I have to follow that. So I cannot stop doing any karma. Even breathing, I cannot stop. Some hatha yogis can do that, but for certain period. But so nobody can escape from karma. So it is better to be free from the results, free from the ego, and follow. This is very important. Follow one's own dharma. Never follow others, even though other dharma can take you to palaces. If your dharma can take you to a hut, but others' dharma can take you to palaces, do not follow others' dharma. Now, dharma does not mean religion. It means what is your natural duty. Let's say I am good at studying scripture. I am good at teaching scriptures. Somebody tells me, okay, if you become farmer on that land, you will be millionaire. If I start doing that instead of what my tendency is, I'll stop doing what I am good at. I am bad at farming and I'll be a miserable farmer eventually. So instead of following others' dharma, even though how beautiful or how good they are, follow one's own dharma. Meaning, whatever your natural tendency is, keep doing that. Don't chase somebody else just because that fellow is successful in doing whatever he or she is doing. Now there are certain elements of karma. Why there is karma? Because we have body, physical body, mental body, and doer. Doer is, when we say I, that I comes from ego. Ego does not mean false pride, but ego meaning I exist, that notion. I have that notion that I exist. So that is the doer of karma. Then there are senses. We have eyes, ears, mouth, nose, skin. So these are various sensory organs. So we always do karma through those, because we get information and we act on those, our mind act on those and gives information out. So that becomes karma. Efforts. So we want to achieve something, we become steadfast in that goal, whatever quality of that is, sattvic effort, sattvic goal, does not matter, but any effort creates karmas. Let's say one day you decide, I want to do sadhana, I want to achieve the liberation, I want to do Atma Sakshatkar. So that goal, even though it is sattvic and that is the ultimate goal, but that goal will put you into path of some efforts. You have to do certain things and that creates karma. And every karma is attachment unless it is offered to Sri Krishna. And then there is Divine Supreme. This is very important. Even though you think that you don't want to do certain things, you don't want to put efforts in certain things, even though you don't want to have anything in life, but there is divine presence in you and that will put you in the path to doing karma. So we are like Kathputli, that in literal terms, even though we don't want to do, the divine will force us into certain direction, and that is also one of the elements for karma. Now factors to do karma: jnana, knowledge of knowing something, right? And then what to be known, and then there is knower. So these are the three factors that affect karma. Components of karma: instrument of karma, meaning you want to meditate but you cannot sit on ground, So you need to have asana. So these are various instruments. Karma or deed, act of doing dhyana, that is karma. And karta, you are doing dhyana. Unless you have samadhi, you are doing something. So that is doer, karta. What kind of action is sattvic, what is rajasic, and what is tamasic? So these are all various divisions. Not sure if we have time. What time is it? 7 more minutes. Okay. So okay, when Sri Krishna says Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagena, so some use these words in wrong arguments or arguments in wrong directions. They say that this is very much against the modern norms. How can one have 4 castes and some are deprived of certain duties? But Sri Krishna did not say that. He said Guna Karma Vibhagena. Because you have certain qualities, you are part of that group. Because you act or do karma a certain way, you are part of that. But it's your choice. You want to be in that group or you want to move to a different group. So it's not like the caste system that Western society has imposed, or they have class system and they just want to see that even Bharatiya Varna Vyavastha is similar to that, and they impose that on us. And now Bharatiyas, the Indians, also start thinking like that. It's not that like that at all. What Brahmana does, a seeker, he is a seeker or she is a seeker. Peaceful, self-restraint, austerity and chastity, these are the qualities. If a person has these qualities, being peaceful, being self-restraint, being austere or chaste, meaning being pure and on the path of seeking, he or she is patient, truthful, knowledgeable, has scholarship, meaning knowing the scriptures, and someone who has faith in future. If you have these qualities, or if you do some work like this, you are a seeker. Like a scientist. Scientist believes in future, and because of that future, they invest their whole life. They do not care for money. They do not care for even family life. They might have children, wife and all that, but their goal is to seek. They are on path of seeking. There are still many scientists like that, right? We have seen. So they are all Brahmana. You can be born as a Brahman in a Brahmana family, but it does not mean that you have all these qualities. You have just the label of Brahman, but you may not have these qualities. Then Kshatriya, warrior. The qualities of warrior: valor, strength, fortitude, mastery of scriptures. Even Kshatriya, warrior, knows scriptures, all the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras and other Shastras. When we say 64 Kala, 64 different knowledge systems, if you know, then you become a good Raja, a king or queen. You have to have all the 64 subjects, knowledge of all these 64 subjects. Right now we are confined to some 15-20, not more than that. And even being a student in college or high school, we might learn only 8 or 10, not more than that. But in old times, in Gurukula systems, all the Raja had to know all 64 different subjects. 64. That includes hair cutting, hair dressing also. So 64 Kala, right? So 64 different forms. So a Kshatriya, warrior, has to have all the knowledge of this, because they need to lead. If they don't have all this knowledge, how can they lead? So being a CEO of the company, if I have MBA degree from Harvard, can I be a CEO of Intel Corporation? Yes, I can be. But will I be a good CEO? No. Because if I do not know the process, what is happening in the company at the chip level, how they build it, how they manufacture it, what is the invention going on, and what is the science behind it, if I don't know, can I be a good CEO? No. I am just a money manager, nothing else, resource manager. So in old times, right now, even an illiterate can become Prime Minister of Bharat. Very unfortunate. Old times, you need to know all the 64 colors, then only you can become Raja. Vaishya, trader, agriculture, cow protection, and commerce. These are all properties of Vaishya. So majority of the people today, they are Vaishya. Because if I go to job, I do this and that work, I can be part of commerce, but I cannot be a Vaishya. So no, that's not correct. So majority of us are Shudra because we do service. We serve others in one form or the other. And that's why this world is Shudra's world. And it is also written in the scriptures that Shudras will rule the world, is what is written in Bhagavad, any Puranas. So this is the age of Kali. So Shudras are at the top. We need to reverse that and bring back Brahmana at the top, the seekers at the top, and that will be new Satyuga. So if you look at these four, every yuga one was the ruler. Satyug, Brahmana; Treta Yuga, Kshatriya; Dwapara Yuga, traders, Vaishya; Kali Yuga, Shudras. So that's how things change. Okay, finally Sri Krishna says, okay, I told you everything. He says to Arjuna and to all of us who studies Gita, I said this, all these 650 shlokas or 680 shlokas. Now decide what is right for you and accept and act whatever comes to your mind and whatever you can expect. So what he says basically is, take refuge in me, think about me all the times, be devotee of mine, worship me and offer salutations to me. If you do all these 5 things, I'll take care of you. But it's up to you whether you want to do this or you want to do something else. Just because I am telling you, you don't have to accept this. You are free, so keep doing that. You have free will, but if you want to be one with me, if you want to be divine, if you want to be liberated, then do what I say. So this is completion of Bhagavad Gita as modern human beings. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.